Hey there, friend. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio here in the Bible Bistro. So glad to have you here with me today. Oh my goodness, we have a good one today. We're looking at Psalm 21 verses 8 through 10. Psalm 21 verses 8 through 10, this really, in a way, describes the mediatorial work of Jesus as our King. And we're going to read these verses today. So if you have your Bible, grab it and turn to 21:8. If you don't, I'm going to read this for us, and we'll just do that right now. How about that? We'll just get started with the little Bible reading. Thine hand shall find out all thine enemies. Thy right hand shall find out those that hate thee. Thou shalt make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour them. Their fruit shalt thou destroy from the earth, and their seed from among the children of men. One of the things about the kingly office of Christ is that he both defends his people and executes justice on their behalf and for the Lord his God. So he is doing this work. He convinces us, he defends us, he brings us, adopting us into his family. This is all part of the kingly work. But then also he executes judgment and justice against all of the king's enemies. So once you're in the king's family, you know, the enemies of the king are your enemies too, because the enemy of your soul is his. And, you know, he's going to execute judgment on that. I want you to notice too, there are shadows of this in other Psalms, like in Psalm 2. In Psalm 2, when he says, I've set my king upon the throne, and then he identifies that king as his son. And then he mentions the iron rod with which he's going to shatter the nations. Then also there's Psalm 110. In Psalm 110, the king is set upon the throne. And then he goes out and he again breaks the nations. So it's a part of his kingly role to execute justice. Also, I think what we have here in 8, 9, and 10 is a little bit like what we see happening in the story of Moses with Dathan and that group that rebelled against Moses. You know, there was a great rebellion. What was the other guy? Dathan, Abiram, maybe? And they rebelled against Moses. And the earth opened up and swallowed them whole, and fire raged and burned out the rest. Well, it's what you have right here. You shall make them as a fiery oven in the time of thine anger. The Lord shall swallow them up in his wrath, and the fire shall devour, just like what happened to Dathan in that group. You go back, and I did write down what that passage was, but you'll find it there in the story of the Exodus. So, very much like that. And also, this is a foreshadowing of what's going to happen at the end of the age, when everyone is resurrected and all stand before God for that final judgment at the great white throne. And there's going to be the lake of fire opened up, and death and hell is going to be cast in. And then all those that follow the angel, the devil and his angels, they're going to go. And he's going to destroy and swallow them up. And it says there, what is it in verse 10? Their fruit shalt thou destroy, their seed from among the children of men. So all the things that they've done, and all of their children and the ones that follow them, they're going to be destroyed. All of it's going to be erased. Not forever, in annihilation. I'm not trying to teach that. It's not annihilation because it's eternal suffering. But all of that wrong that they did, their fruit is going to be corrected, and their seed will be removed from among the children of men. It's a horrible thought, and one that we need to take seriously. Well, join me again tomorrow, and we're going to look at verses, let's see, I think it's verses 11 and 12 and 13 here on Daily Dose Radio.